Barnstable Public Schools could soon be searching for a new superintendent. Town officials are looking for ways to fight the opiate crisis in our communities. Plus, a local museum looks to renew its lease. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, December 15th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Schakowsky is one of 3 final candidates for a superintendent position in Lexington, Massachusetts. Schakowsky says she was not searching for a new position when the opportunity presented itself.
I was recruited by a firm who I think is a very well-respected firm, and about 2 months ago I had been approached and contacted to think about applying for this position, and I really sort of grappled with it. I was very conflicted. I didn't apply until probably the very last minute, and even prior to submitting or completing any kind of an application, I met individually with each of our school committee members to talk to them about this opportunity. And when I say an opportunity, obviously I don't shy away from any kind of challenges or things that may come my way, and I did a lot of deep soul searching on this one, and because I firmly believe that if that's where I'm supposed to be, then that's where I will end up being. If I'm not, then I will hopefully remain here. And I've had very good conversations with the school committee about my future here, and I asked them if they would be willing, if I did not be selected for the job, to allow me to continue, and they wholeheartedly would support my continuing working here in Barnstable. So, it was a very, very mixed feelings. It's been a long couple of weeks. I felt it was really important to notify the staff before it hit the media, and I notified all the staff as well as our leadership team. So, for me, it was something that I felt at this point in my career that I needed to look at. I didn't want to look back and have any regrets and say, I wish I had looked at that position. So, it's been a busy couple of weeks for me, but my work here I'm remaining focused on the work that I have to do here, and I will continue to do that regardless of what the outcome is.
Dr. Schakowsky says out of 60 applicants, the search committee selected 6 to be interviewed.
One of the 6, the other 5 were sitting superintendents or assistant superintendents from the state of Massachusetts as well as the country, and there were 5 other males that were selected. I became one of 3 last Tuesday night, and that's when I made the decision. Prior to that, it was not public, and made the decision to notify the staff. So I'm one of 3, and there's a superintendent from Maine that's one of the other finalists, and the other finalist is an assistant superintendent from Chicago. And so what will happen this week is I will plan, each candidate is going up to spend a day and a half there, and we'll be meeting with the staff, and then there will be a public interview in the evening with the school committee. So this Thursday, I will have my visit there, and then Friday morning, I will meet in likelihood with the chair of the board.
Schakowsky says she expects a final decision to be made by Friday night. We will, of course, keep you updated on this developing story. Town officials hope to combat the increase in opiate addiction and overdoses. Town manager Tom Lynch says a discussion about the issue came up during a recent department head meeting.
I just wanted to point out that in some of the things that happened in some of those meetings, and this last Wednesday when we had the senior managers meeting, we were discussing a variety of issues, and then I go around and ask each department what they would like to share about things that are going on. The chief mentioned some of the opiate issues that the police were confronting, and the number of overdoses that they had to deal with in the course of the last calendar year, and the resources that went into that. Tom McKean from Public Health, when it was his turn, mentioned that you know, they had been talking with the Board of Health about how to do more education around prevention and this issue, because they see it on a lot of different levels and impacting public health that's out there. Then our DPW spoke and said, look, it's an issue for us too, because we're out and we see the needles. We see the folks that drop them in the ground, put them you know, in parking lots, by the bandstand, whatever it might be, and they're raking those up. And we have education on how to safely handle the trash and the non-piercing gloves and things of that nature. And then we know that it's an issue for the schools and for young people. The senior center then piped up and said, well, listen, you know, we talk about that at the senior level, because there are opiates that seniors get that become addictive, and we in general talked about that from a physician prescription point of view. We know there's a lot of discussions going on there. So just in one meeting, we had, you know, 5 different agencies touch on how this problem impacts us, and the monies and resources that we put into it. And the police department isn't going to solve it. The schools alone aren't going to solve it. It's really going to be a community effort that has some long-term solution.
Lynch says town officials are also hoping to work with Cape Cod hospital staff and other organizations to begin to combat the opiate epidemic. The Coast Guard Heritage Museum may be around for another few years. Town manager Tom Lynch says right now they are working to extend the museum's lease on the property.
The Coast Guard Heritage Museum that has been operating there were the sole responders to the request for proposals this time, and I've got a small team reviewing that proposal, make sure all the aspects are in there that we were looking for, and I would be expecting to be signing that pretty quickly to keep them in there, because they've been a very nice addition to the village, and talking about a history of the Coast Guard that's very significant in our area.
You can learn more about the Coast Guard Heritage Museum by visiting coastguardheritagemuseum.org. Cape Cod Community College students are full of anxiety as they head into finals this week. One way the college is trying to combat that stress is by providing access to therapy dogs between exam times. Communications Director Michael Gross says it's a great program.
You would really be amazed at how many students take advantage, frankly, how many faculty and staff take advantage of this great opportunity. Throughout the week, from 11 to 1 o'clock, up in the second floor of Grossman, it's a big open hallway and wonderful, comfortable space. There is a wonderful association on Cape Cod who have therapy dogs, and these are dogs that are very, very trained to be with the general public, to be touched, to be hugged, and you can just see the love and joy on the face of our students and staff. Anyone who just needs a moment to just go enjoy unquestioned love and affection, and that's what every dog and animal will give to you if you offer. And the dogs themselves are very, very well trained. I had I was quite amazed. I had never seen them before some years ago. They've always been part of the Hyannis Christmas stroll, the Main Street stroll, up at the end of the street by the beautiful old general store. They're usually there. And I remember early on in my years on the Cape, and my family were walking up through there, and all of a sudden, and they're all kinds of dogs. They're all different breeds, and you can't get near them. There's just this massive, massive amount of people all around them. And I had to admit, all you had to do once, here you have dogs in Santa hats, and at the time all sort of dressed up, and just a little tussle between the ears, just a little snuggle. My young children at the time couldn't get enough of these dogs.
Again, the therapy dogs will be available from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll learn more about the Energy Commission. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.